On the phone with us, you know him from his hilarious spot in the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall. He was also in Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler. He's comedian Russell Brand, new comedy special, Russell Brand in New York, going to be on Comedy Central this Sunday. And Russell, you are just sort of breaking here. Actually, I guess last year you just sort of starting to break here in the States, but in England, you are a phenomena, it seems like.
Very different. Over there, yeah, it's like proper famous. It makes you realise how meaningless fame is, because you can be somewhere really famous and think, God, I'm important, but then you just go somewhere else and no one knows who you are and think, oh, yeah, right, I'm not that important, but I still have got a good hair. Hair becomes important.
I've heard Ricky Gervais talk about this, the difference between his fame in England and the States, is saying that, you know, when he comes here to work on a show for HBO, it sort of feels like vacation, because he can actually walk down the street in the U.S. Is it that way for you, too?
Well, yeah, but for me, I expect more from a vacation than being able to walk down the street. I want partying and excitement and razzmatazz.
Razzmatazz. That is
razzmatazz I'm talking about.
That is something to look forward to. Now, how do you do with the chicks? Because we know over in England you're just banging it out, but is it the same way here in the States?
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, the women of America have been very, very accommodating, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for their kindness, their warmth, and their incredible sex appeal.
Russell Brand, you were named. What is the proper term that Sun newspaper over in England has dubbed 3 years in a row? You're Playboy.
Referring, of course, to my proudest accolade, I am the Shagger of the Year, 3 years running, which is from the Sun newspaper. It's just some recognition for the shagging that I do, the people that I shag, and I'd like to dedicate the award to them as much as me.
Well, it's not possible without them.
Yeah, well, they go through the shagging as well, and they're overlooked. They don't often get awards.
We are talking to Russell Brand. The new special is on Comedy Central on Sunday, Russell Brand in New York. Now, the last time we saw you in a variety show type of setting, or a setting where you were doing some comedy on stage, here in the States anyway, was the 2008 MTV Video Music Awards. You, of course, very famously made fun of the purity rings worn by the Jonas Brothers, and it seemed like almost immediately everyone was jumping down your throat. You had to think for a second, wait a minute, this is comedy. I should be allowed to be a little more risque than they're letting me be.
Yeah, I don't mind if people are virgins, really, especially young men. So this is not a demographic that I'm interested in having sex with. The more of them stay virgins, actually, the better it is for me, because
right.
There'll be young women out there thinking, well, look, we've got to have sex. That's where I come in.
Well, why was it that you felt like you needed to apologize during the show? Did someone backstage say something to you?
Actually, no. What it was, that wasn't a genuine apology, but just a setup for another joke. That's what was difficult about that situation. People thought it was a genuine apology, but no, it's just a way in. What it was is that the joke was, I don't want to piss off any sorry for upsetting the Jonas Brothers. I don't want to piss off any teenage fans. Quite the opposite. I don't mean I want to on teenage fans. Oh no, I've made it worse. I know you've had some problems with that sort of thing last year, R. Kelly. And then it was just a setup for a joke. It wasn't an apology, it was just a way into another joke. So no, I didn't feel any need to apologise for that, nor do I. But in retrospect, I do like them Jonas Brothers. They're nice.
All right.
Now,
I like them.
That's okay. Great. Now, speaking
I
of,
might try and catch one and keep it in my house.
It would be a great way to get some of the younger girls over.
Oh, totally.
Well, obviously within the confines of the law. I mean, if there are any women in their 20s that are following the Jonas Brothers, I might like to say, listen to the music of Jimi Hendrix. Reassess the way you're going through life.
Now, speaking of apologies, I guess you resigned from the BBC. Do you miss it for your prank calls from last year?
Yeah, I love doing that radio show, but it was a bit mental, it was like, I suppose, when you're used to the mates, right, and I think if you're doing stuff with your mates, you sometimes just go into how you are with your friends and forget that not everyone's like you, so with me and one of my friends, Jonathan Ross, went a little bit crazy, and it wasn't that dramatic. We phoned, there used to be a sitcom in the UK which actually came over here as well, 40 Towers. It was a brilliant show.
Oh yeah.
And in it, there was an actor called Andrew Sachs, and he played the waiter Manuel. Now, fast forward 30 years, he's obviously an old man. That's not something I thought about. By bizarre coincidence, I had sex with one of his granddaughters. She was in her 20s. She's not like a granddaughter from a commercial for muffins or something. She's like a woman in her 20s, and in fact was in a burlesque dance group called the Satanic Sluts. Right? So I met her and some of the other satanic sluts, and then retrospectively found out that she was the granddaughter of Manuel from 40 Towers. It was all funny because it didn't make sense. It was like you had sex with a woman and it was really crazy, and then you found out, oh, that's Bill Cosby's niece. Wow.
Yeah.
So, I told my friend Jonathan Ross while we were on the radio show, so the listeners could have a chuckle about it. And Andrew Sachs was coming on the show as a guest, only a phoner, and I thought, oh, it'll be all right. Jonathan won't mention that. But then in the background, while I was on the phone to Andrew Sachs' answer phone, Jonathan Ross shouted out information using the F word, and then everything went into a big storm of insanity.
Hey, clear up a debate we were having earlier this week, because we played the audio from U2 on BBC the other day when Bono used the term wanker, and the woman who was the host made him apologize. Is it as offensive as she was making it seem?
It's naughty. It's not like a major swear word, wanker, but it's like it means, to wank means to.
Yeah,
sure.
It's kind of probably as bad as saying a-hole.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So it is?
It is bad. Yeah, you can't say it. If someone reading the news went, today a wanker was killed in a murder, they'd go, what's going on here? Even though the chances are that most people do masturbate, so a wanker probably was killed in a murder.
He is Russell Brand. The new Comedy Central special airs Sunday night. It's called Russell Brand in New York. Russell, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a joy to be on your radio show. Thanks a lot. Take care.